Hello, dear listener. You have just stumbled across the UWC Network podcast. And it is your fortunate day because you're going to hear things that may make you laugh, may make you cry, may start some thoughts in your head that you don't even know why. But one thing you have to remember is anyone speaking, they represent themselves and not the UWC Network. Some of the things they will say will be polarizing, will be offensive, but most definitely will be thought-provoking. So do yourself a favor. If this is not something that you're prepared for as a person,
adult, some kind of mammal, human cyborg hybrid, professional wrestler, police officer, an elected official, store manager, cook, mortician, traffic officer, zoologist, cryptozoologist, religious philosopher, master of the occult, car enthusiast, lawn enthusiast, golfer, high school cheerleader, car wash owner, captain of industry, doula, futuristic humanoid returning to the past to somehow stop the one thing that will destroy your present.
You should probably turn this off right now, because listening past this point, you have agreed verbally, silently, and unequivocally to not sue us. So, enjoy the show.
Welcome to Social Anarchist.
All be good! All release my power! America!
My name is Christopher X, and X always marks the spot. I'm being joined by Positive Panda.
Hello. I feel more like Sad Panda.
Okay.
That is all.
Sure. Okay. We are going to go into some quick stuff. We've got a text line, which, if you know that the podcast is coming up, you have a question that you want read on the air. If you have, some kind of criticism about the podcast, which many of you do have, but none of you have the balls to let us know, you can give us a text here at 315-791-2280. That was 315-791-2280. You can give us a text. You can give us a call. For the love of God, please don't text me any more pictures of that woman with the hairy tits and armpit hair. It was disgusting. So I'm sure I'll get more of it now. Thanks. Also, you want to try to find us somewhere online because there's several different social media outlets. We have them all bundled up on our Linktree app. So you can check us out at linktree.com/UWC4life. And that has all the links to everything that we're on, including MySpace. So Panda, it's been a while. We haven't been here. Why are you sad?
That's a conversation for another podcast.
Are you serious? You start the podcast with, I'm sad, Panda. You got to tell me why you're sad. Doesn't make any sense otherwise.
Nah. So there's just a lot going on, like, in the world.
Yeah.
Locally. Political disagreements, even with my family.
Well, politics is always something that's polarizing, and well, I didn't talk to my cousin for 2.5 years.
Right, and is it horrible to say that? It's never going to get like that with my family, but that's one thing. But now, what's going on in the world politically, I feel like is, I know, I'm sorry for the long pause. It's affecting me and my job, is what I'll say. And
so it's affecting you in the shoot job.
So some things that are, contentiously debated are going on where I work. In other words, like, there's things happening as a result of policies that people often debate. And okay. I've been saying it for at least a solid year now, that I can see it happening. And now it has happened, and it's happening to me in a way that is beyond anything I would have guessed. And it's just really, it's sad.
Well, here, let me ask you a question. because I know initially when you talk about politics and you talk about just that whole climate, originally when we started talking about politics, I remember you told me you didn't want to vote for the guy I voted for because he was going to destroy your job.
Right.
But yet he was already in office for 4 years and nothing happened to your job. And now, ironically, he was not elected back into office, and horrible things are happening involving your job that had nothing to do with him.
Well, and I guess I would say that's where it becomes a matter of opinion.
Okay.
Because I think that there are many people who would say what's happening is a good thing. As long as it's not happening to them.
So in other words, it's a good thing. What's happening is a good thing as long as it's not happening to a certain marginalized people. Right?
Right.
So if it's not happening to that certain group of marginalized people, but it's starting to marginalize another group of people, it's okay because it's not happening to them. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's not cool, but it's very interesting because
okay.
Yeah.
This is as specific as I will get.
Okay.
It is a topic that though it has been around in businesses and education and so forth as a practice for a number of years now, it's always been debated on whether or not it's right, whether or not it's needed. And
affirmative. A
lot of the argument on one side is that in theory it might be okay, but in practice that's not what's happening. And to anyone who might benefit from this policy or who might think that there's people who should benefit would argue that no, it'll play out the way it's described in theory. And what I'm experiencing is no, it's playing out a different way, not the way it's described, not the way the laws say it should be. In fact, it's quite the opposite.
So you're saying it's the trickle-down theory isn't a real thing?
I don't know what trickle down. It's not an
it's the whole
thing.
point of, if this one group of people are doing well, everyone eventually will do well, sort of thing? That kind of mentality?
No one's ever said that.
Well, no, people definitely have said that.
This is about, it's supposed to be about, I guess, most people would say equality.
Well, I thought it was equity. Is that the same thing?
No, that's not the same thing.
Because it's definitely not equality.
Well,
not in any kind
since I can't really say what I'm talking about, this whole conversation, I have a feeling might be kind of annoying to anybody who's actually listening. Because you're like, what the fuck is it? Just say, oh my God.
You know what's really funny about that?
What?
Anybody with half of a cent would go, oh, I get it. He gave us clues. And I would say, affirmative, guy. I did give you a clue. Anyway. Well, this Saturday is the return of Shooting with Friends. It's going to be interesting. Jay Flyer, Mr. Hangtime Jay Flyer, sat down with Tiger Smith, that handsome, lovable guy with a beautiful voice, and talked about a whole lot of stuff that's happening to him and what he went through on his journey, and a whole lot of people he won't talk about because he has nothing nice to say about any of these people. So please tune in, 8 a.m. Saturday morning, Shooting with Friends. Check that out. That's going to be great stuff. Do you want to just go to a break and let's do some news when we come back? Because you seem very upset.
No, I'm okay. But yes, we should just break anyway.
Let's do that. All right, guys. Mark out for these words. Oh my God. It's Wednesday. I got to do a podcast. We got to do a podcast. I got to get in the right mindset. What am I going to do? Oh my God, it's Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day. I got to get down to First Print on 1548 Buffalo Road. Mike knows what to do. He's got my bag ready for me. I don't even have to look around the store. I do, though. I always do. I always end up getting something extra. But he always has my bag ready for me. And it's Wednesday, so you know I got to get there. Down to 1548 Buffalo Road to First Print Comics.
You have a Facebook. We know you do. I hear there are many different pages you could join, but they all suck. So look up UWC number 4 Life. Just do it.
Holy God, sometimes you just don't want to go to Facebook, you don't want to go to Twitter, you just want to look at a picture and either like it or ignore it or just keep moving on. Well, guess what? The UWC at UWC4 Life has its own Instagram. Follow us. See our crazy, wacky adventures. Follow us onto Instagram TV where you get exclusive stuff that you'll only see on Instagram TV. Stay in the now, stay in the wow. UWC4 Life on Instagram.
UWC Network News.
I mean, what, we want to do a podcast just on politics or
Kicking it around.
Okay. All right. Okay. We're going to get into some world news. My headline over here says Georgia. That's not really world news, but you know, what's up? What's
Well,
happening in Georgia?
I don't want you to blow my... What do you say? Blow my spot?
I'm going to blow your spot. How am I going to blow your spot?
By saying the headline, then you've given the news away.
Oh.
So all you get in your notes is Georgia.
Oh, I see what you did. Okay. That makes sense.
So here in New York, it was the first day of school for many students. Tomorrow in some districts will be the first day.
Yep.
Southern states, I believe, started a little bit earlier. They've started over the last maybe 2 weeks or so.
Sure.
But wherever you are in this United States and wherever you're listening from, we can safely agree that it is the very beginning of the school year, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can both agree on that.
Absolutely.
So there's already been a mass shooting today.
Jesus Christ. Are you serious?
Yep. Today.
Good God.
In Georgia. In one of the largest school districts of the country. I believe it's in the top 25.
Wow.
4 are dead, 8 to 9 are injured.
Oh my God.
And it was a 14-year-old who is alive.
What do you mean a
14-year-old was the one who was shooting. And all I can tell from looking from news reports are that somehow a security officer engaged with the student and the student kind of gave up, I guess, and was arrested.
Jesus. Wow. That's huge.
It's like the 300 something, whatever, over 300 mass shootings this year. And we still have most of September, October, November, December. We still have 4 months to go, a quarter of the year. And we're already well over, I think we might even be over 350 mass shootings. Mass shootings is where 4 more people get shot, by the way, if you didn't know.
I didn't. I just,
so, sorry.
I'm a little taken back. I apologize.
Yeah.
Because that's like, how old were the kids that?
This is a high school. So
okay.
and I believe it was a couple of teachers or staff and then a couple of students. Of the dead, and then I'm not sure of the injured, but it's a mixture regardless.
It's fucking horrible.
Very beginning of the school year.
Wow.
And I know I would say you'd probably agree it's increasingly unsettling for us because this summer, a few weeks ago, we can't say it's a mass shooting because 4 people didn't get shot, but there was a very, very large group of people in a very nearby park.
Yep. And
some people drove by and a bunch of shots rang out and
at a picnic.
I believe 2 people died.
Yep.
I'm not sure if there were others injured, but it's not a mass shooting because they only managed to kill 2 people. Sorry, 2 people. You don't count.
That sucks.
But it's a thing.
Wow. Well, I feel like it's almost tacky to say thoughts and prayers out to those families, but what else do you say at this point?
I will not be saying that because I'm not religious, so take this for probably nothing since many people are and I am not, but look at our prayers. If you believe that, the way I see it is if you believe that God has some control in this scenario, either he could have prevented the shooting from happening and he didn't, or in a very twisted way, you must believe that there's a reason these 2 people here in our area were killed, or in this, thing that just happened today, you'd believe that these 4 people died and 9 were injured because there was a reason, quote unquote, for that. And I can't buy into either of those explanations. So I will not be saying thoughts and prayers. That does absolutely nothing.
I see what you're saying. Well, it's my condolences.
You know what I will say? Go get a gun.
Yeah.
I was just having this conversation with my family. And it's crazy that I'm saying that. And now, I'm saying it publicly because, again, just a few years ago, I was pretty anti-gun. Let's get rid of them all. Nobody needs to have them. And now I'm, I have had a while ago now the realization that we're never going to get rid of all guns. And if we try to get rid of them all, the only people that won't have them are the law-abiding citizens that need them to protect themselves. So rather than, saying, oh, let's get rid of guns and all the bad people will go away and just, be blind to the actual fact of the situation, how about you go get a gun? How about the more of us that have guns? I don't know, maybe people won't manage to shoot and kill 4 people and injure 9 others because maybe they might be stopped a little bit sooner.
Yeah. I mean, the only place I can think of that doesn't really have, I don't know if they have guns at all, or it's Australia, right? Didn't they get rid of guns in Australia? I'm not
sure. Maybe Australia or New Zealand wouldn't surprise me.
But now this is the thing. It's all right, let's say, we're going to have to double check. So you fact checkers out there that are going to fucking destroy us.
I could check it right now.
If it is Australia, let's say it's Australia, right? They got rid of their guns. Their crime rate, I think, is pretty low, actually. But then, you know what the trade-off was? Big fucking spiders that are bigger than my fucking feet, man. Fuck that. Because if they had guns, they could shoot these things.
No, Australia absolutely has guns, so it's not Australia.
So where is it then?
Are you thinking of England?
England
does not have
guns?
England. I don't believe you can have a gun.
Really?
But regardless of which country it is, I mean, we've already opened that Pandora's box here. We have them. They're out there.
Yeah,
people could probably 3D print them at this point. It's not going away.
Point, yeah.
So
that's crazy.
Here we are.
Wow. Do you have anything else on that, or
that is enough?
That is enough. Okay, so I guess we're gonna mark out for these words. We're gonna take a break. That's wow. Depending on which social media you decide to identify yourself with, we probably have that social media. Right now, I'm talking about X. UWC for Life is on there. You can see tweets, twits, twats, whatever. What are they, exclamations? I'm not exactly sure what they call them these days. But you can find us there at UWC, the number 4 Life. You will get some updates that will be shared among the multiverse of social medias. Is it a multiverse? I mean, each one of them has its own. Yeah, I guess it could totally be. So check us out on X, UWC, the number 4 Life. Panda, it's Saturday. I want to go for a ride. I want to go to First Print.
No kidding. Me too. Actually, I think Mike's got something in the bag for me.
Oh my God, are you getting another indie book? When are you going to come over and start collecting Batman or Thundercats or Conan? You should get Conan.
You're talking to me, right? Just be happy that I'm into comic books. I'm trying to remember what he has in the box. It was something from the dollar bin. He's
got a lot of things in the boxes. I got to see what he has in my bag. Oh, he does have a dollar. He does have that dollar box. I wonder if it's anything good. I was taking this trip down to 1548 Buffalo Road. I think we're going to find out, aren't we?
Yeah, it was something in the dollar box, and it was, of course, another Image comic, and he had most of the series except for the first part, so he was going to order the first part for me.
Yeah, that figures. Mike always finds whatever we want and orders it for us, so that way it's waiting for us in our bag over at First Print Comics. Make sure you do what we're doing. Take a ride down to 1548 Buffalo Road, talk to Mike, start a bag, go through his dollar box, but get your books, because you know what we do? We buy books. Okay, so let's
I just want to go back to something real quick. I think what we were just talking about is kind of us showing how easy it is to fall into things that just get repeated so often you believe them. Because, yeah, you can have guns in England, too. I mean, certain guns have been banned, but they've had mass shootings as well. So I think that's just one of those things that at some point someone said and we all kind of bought into it.
All right, let's get into a little pop culture. Maybe this will be something a little more pleasant. I fucking hope it's something a little more pleasant. Why? You're in a shitty mood, so now you got to give us all. Who is Anne Murray?
I don't control the news, and it's Annie Murphy.
I can see it from the way you.
And I know you know who she is.
Who's Annie Murphy?
A little bit.
No.
David.
Oh wait, is that the fuck is her name?
Alexis from Schitt's Creek. Her actual name, who she is Annie Murphy.
I did not know her real name because she is nobody but Alexis.
Wow. She's someone else now, and it just came out on Netflix.
Who is she?
The show is called Kevin Can Fuck Himself.
Oh, really? I'm intrigued.
I mean, who isn't by the title?
Seriously?
Kevin Can Fuck Himself. And if you're a fan of Schitt's Creek, like I know many of us are, and you see Annie Murphy, you're like, what is this?
That sounds. Well, she was always hot.
So apparently it actually came out like 2 years ago on AMC, and it just started streaming on Netflix. So
I've never heard of it, so this is going to be new for me.
Yes, we are those people that are just learning about something 2 years later because we don't subscribe to any of the live channels. We do all streaming.
Yippers.
So to me, it's a brand new show. Kevin Can Fuck Himself.
I hope the rest of the Schitt's Creek people make little cameos here and there. That'd be cool.
Unlikely because of what this show is. I find it very interesting. I watched about half of the first episode.
God damn it, you couldn't wait for me?
Half of the first episode.
Oh my god, that's still like, but you know stuff. You know who Kevin is.
So, I'm not great at describing things.
Okay.
But it is a dark comedy.
Oh, okay. That sounds like something I'd like.
And
is there full frontal nudity?
I mean, in the first half of the first episode, no. And I'm going to venture to guess none.
Listen, it can happen.
Series.
I watched Working Moms. It was in the first minute and 30 seconds of it.
Nothing.
Like, they just got it out there. All the main women in that movie were all topless. And I'm like, wow, I saw what you guys did there. Now there's, like, no, like, I hope they get naked. It's like, boom, there they are. Okay, let's move on. Which, honestly, was kind of a smart way of doing it because it was just like, you can't leak anything now. You can't say anything about these chicks. They already just threw it out there and said, all right, let's move.
So the reason I think you'd be intrigued by this is because of how they shot it, and I've never seen anything like it. So first of all, Kevin Can Fuck Himself is about this couple. Annie Murphy's the wife. Her husband is basically
Kevin,
a child, like a man child, and he is like ambitionless. Is that a word?
Yes.
Lacks ambition, ambitionless. She is not. She wants to save their money and do something with it, and
does he smoke weed all the
move
time?
On to better things. No, that is not his thing. So, what is very interesting is that when you watch it at first, it's almost like watching a modern version of Married with Children, and
that show.
And I don't want to. It is nothing like Married with Children, so don't take it that way. It's like that in the camera style, the way that they shoot it, and the fact that it cuts to them in a living room with a couch. I mean, because I guess you could argue Roseanne as well, whatever. But one of those 90s sitcoms, basically.
Okay.
There's the living room, the ha ha ha. I think they even have a laugh track, right?
Are they cursing at each other? Because that would be funny.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
It'll then cut to Annie Murphy's character. Let's say she's alone in the kitchen. All of a sudden, it's darker. It's a totally different camera. It's more dramatic. And something very dark and like sad or depressing or horrible like happens. And then she goes back and she's with her friends or with she's family, and it's back to this other camera style.
That sounds pretty fucking...
And this other lighting.
So what, is she going to like kill herself or something? That sounds fucked up.
Like I said, I only watched half of the first episode.
So
there's
like
2
she's
seasons.
all smiling and everything's happy with people, but then when she gets alone, it's all dark and scary.
Yes.
Dude, that chick's gonna kill
Isn't
herself.
that... Have you ever seen a show that's shot that way?
No, I've never even heard of it. No, I have seen shows like that, but they're usually like comic book style shows where it's like it'll be real happy, and then when one specific character gets alone, then it gets real fucked up.
Oh, all right. Well,
kind of like a horror movie.
So,
is it going to be a horror movie?
It's definitely not going to be like Schitt's Creek, and that there's not going to be a bunch of like funny memes and people quoting it probably.
Well,
but it's got my attention, so maybe perhaps check that out.
on that, please?
Yeah, like I said, I only watched half of the first episode.
Yeah, okay. That doesn't count as my pick, though. We can just watch it. Though.
Well, then I'm going to continue watching it.
So you're not, okay. All right. I got something good for you then.
So, I don't know what else to say, but watch.
So that's all you got?
Kevin Can Fuck Himself, yes.
I asked for fucking Beetlejuice. Any Beetlejuice updates. And this is what you give me.
What am I going to add? People read, people watch videos, people watch trailers. I have not seen the movie. What would I say?
The movie's not out here yet.
Do you want me to tell you what all the news outlets are reporting about how...
in your own words.
What's her name?
Oh, I don't know.
The younger one.
Oh, I saw something interesting about her.
Said to Winona Ryder, you don't have to take off your sunglasses for them. That's what everyone's reporting right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's some film festival.
She actually had a pretty good quote that I just read today that I thought was interesting. She said, I have no... First of all, she's like, I think women should be in charge of their own franchises. You know, like there should be a woman, a woman should be the main character of a franchise. Right? And I'm like, okay. She's like, I have no interest in seeing Jamie Bond. Instead of James Bond.
Yes.
She's like, I do not like gender swapped sequels or whatever. She's like, why can't you just create a new badass and then that's their...
She's saying what I've said for quite some time. Don't remake everything. Make your own shit.
Yes.
Make your own character.
The fact that she said that out loud, and I'm like, and you're young? And you're hot enough, in the industry right now that nobody's going to fuck with you because they're going to be like, fuck, she sells. She can say that, and that might carry weight with the fans where it's like, not that it hasn't already affected, sales whenever they do one of those stupid remakes, Ghostbusters, Ocean's 13 or whatever the fuck it was called, and so on and so forth. Just fucking horrible. Create new characters.
That makes me a fan of Jenna Ortega.
I know, that was a cool thing that I read, and I'm like, okay, fucking badass. All right, good. And she's young. That's what I keep saying. She's young, so she can, It's not like who's that other broad? The other broad, the one from X-Men, Jennifer Lawrence. I think that's her name, right? The blonde. She was in not Kill a Mockingbird. The fucking Katniss.
Yes.
What the fuck was that called?
I'm totally blanking, and I read all the books. 4 or 5
movies. It was with the bird, and she shot arrows.
Oh my god!
On fire. What the fuck was that called?
Oh my god!
I can't. Oh my god!
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Killing. God damn! I can't remember it. Like I stopped watching after like the second movie or third movie because she fucking fucked over PETA. What the fuck movie was that? What was it called?
The Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Holy hell!
No, somebody right now is listening, going, "You guys are idiots. How the fuck do you not know what the Hunger?"
Listen, it's been a little while. How long ago did that come out?
Tell me. We should watch those.
No, I'm good.
Sorry, sweetheart. The best thing you did was leak. Anyway, dude, she destroyed the X-Men movies. Like, I know she was just playing a part that was written for her, but it was like, at one point in the horrible reboot of the X-Men movies, she yells at Professor X, the creator of the X-Men. They should start calling this team the X-Women because it's always some woman that has to save all the men on this team. She says this in the movie.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh yeah, no, you're dead. And I think they ended up killing her in either that same movie or the next one. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
That's just stupid.
I understand the desire to see people that look like you.
Yeah, but...
That's cool, but make something original. Don't just redo everything.
Well, no, they weren't going to change it to X-Women.
No, I know, but I'm saying, but that's what some people want.
I don't know.
I'm not saying they specifically want X-Women, but, like, let's remake everything. Like, doing Ghostbusters with women and doing,
I was just thinking, what's her
whatever.
name? Leslie Jones? Was that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, when she, like, jumped into the crowd in that one scene and everybody moved, and she's like, oh, you just moved because I'm black. No, it's because you were a fat piece of shit. Let's say that out loud.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's like, just be your own badass. Don't try to take everything else and make it fit.
Dude, that's like tonguing a fucking tooth that just fell out of your mouth.
Let's move on.
You know what? Let's mark out for some words. We're gonna come back, get ready to do some new stuff. All right, guys. Hello, this is Tiger Smith. I'd like to thank all of you for listening to all of the UWC podcasts. If it's Shooting with Friends, Social Anarchist, or any other possible projects we have coming down the pike. And most of all, we'd like to thank everybody for their support. Outside of listening to the podcast, we also have a tab with our link tree, links that will take you to all of our different social medias and our shop. If you help us out by purchasing an item off the shop, it helps out the podcast exponentially. We love making content for you. So please visit the shop, see if there's something that speaks to you. It might be something to wear. It might be something to drink out of. But either way, you're helping out the UWC network. Thank you. I re-released a couple of different of the podcast shirts. If you go to the shop, and please, guys, go to the shop, buy a shirt. It helps the podcast. It helps us, afford to create content for you. Yeah, I remember the NWO style shirts that we did.
Mm-hmm.
I redid ours out, and I got you on a purple and a red and whatever, and it looks cute.
Okay, I'll check it out.
You check it out in the shop. All right, what do we have going on locally? We have New York troubled politics.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to call that again, so to not give my news away. So, okay. Do you remember Elliot Spitzer?
Oh, God. Wow, I almost forgot about him.
I know, it's a little bit of a throwback.
The guy with the whore, right?
Yeah, the prostitutes.
Yeah, the whore. They did tricks for him.
I know you remember... whatever. I know you remember Andrew Cuomo. That's a little less far back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you remember why he's no longer in office?
Oh, we were just talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
Wasn't it because he was like sexually harassing somebody or something?
Yeah. So this is the wonderful lineup of recent New York governors we've had, right? Elliot Spitzer, who was caught, with prostitutes.
Mm-hmm. Horse.
So David Patterson took over, I think, just for the remainder of his term. And then we had Andrew Cuomo, who then was sexually harassing people at, I don't know, I think the first one I heard about was like a holiday party or something.
That sounds familiar, actually. That does sound familiar.
Yeah. And now we have Kathy Hochul. I just am going to leave that at that.
Wait, she's been sexually harassing?
No, she's the current governor.
Oh.
She is in the lineup of fantastic governors New York has had over the recent years.
She's a fucking asshole.
Right? But this one I didn't see coming. Not to say that I could have predicted the very well-loved Elliot Spitzer was hiring prostitutes. But this is another level. Have you heard the name Linda Sun?
Linda Sun? Like
and I'm not
song?
What?
Like Sam? Like I
Linda
don't know who that is. Who is that?
Sun.
Who is that?
She is a resident of New York. She lives downstate.
Okay.
And she was just last couple days, she was charged with acting as an agent of the Chinese government. Or as BBC puts it, unlike any other American news source, the bitch is a spy.
That's what they said?
They didn't say the bitch. That's my part. But they're the ones to actually say the word.
She's a spy.
Spy.
Working for Kathy Hochul. Miss Catch and Release.
So
awesome. It
started with about 10 years ago with a woman named Grace Meng, who is actually the current 6th District of New York rep in the House of Representatives from Queens.
Okay.
It started with her. And she moved on up, was hired by Andrew Cuomo, and then was hired by Kathy Hochul. And she's kept moving up. At one point, she was chief of staff, I'm talking. So, she was moving up. All the while.
She's a spy.
And then at some point, Kathy Hochul discovered there were some things that were not right, reported it to law enforcement. They've been doing their research. It came out that they were investigating her, I think, back in July, truth be told. But she was indicted, and now they just charged her with being a spy. The bitch is a spy. Or, as we could say, acting as an agent of the Chinese government.
Acting as an agent of it. That's fucking crazy.
So she was... Oh, go ahead.
There is an episode of American Dad that is hilarious because It's 3 very obvious Chinese people with bad wigs that aren't even on correctly. And they're like, oh my God, like 2 of them are like interns and one of them's doing a documentary. So he's filming everything inside the CIA. And they're all like, oh my God, how are you doing, Stan? Are you doing okay? Do you know anything about any launch codes? The entire episode.
Yes.
It is hilarious.
I know the episode.
That's what this sounds like.
Hey,
Kathy Hochul, how are you doing? Do you know anything about them launch codes?
I feel like at this point you could just make a soap opera or sitcom or comedy, what the fuck ever, about New York and our this is ridiculous.
I don't even know what you would call it.
I don't know. New York? Welcome to New York. How about I love New York? I wish you could see my face, everybody.
Yeah, it's the toothiest, grinniest, little dimpliest, happiest smile.
So she was doing things.
How can you only smile at horrible things?
Linda Son, bitch is a spy, was doing things. I feel like I need to say that. Bitch is a spy.
That's going to become a sound effect.
Was doing things like getting the governor. So this part goes to Andrew Cuomo to say things publicly like praising China. So, for instance, she made it so that he, at least from his Twitter account, put out a thing praising China's response to COVID.
You know what?
As one example.
I fucking remember that.
Or she was literally blocking, what is it? Who is it they don't like? Taiwan?
Yeah.
She was blocking Taiwanese, is that the word? Officials from being able to access government people here. Like, she was doing all sorts of things for the benefit of China. Here's the crazy thing to me. Because her husband is also involved and indicted and charged as well. But here's what I'm trying to understand, and I would need more time to keep reading, but the things these people have, like the material things, how did it take so long for someone to go, gee, someone, not even the governor, has a mansion in, I don't know, Long Island, has an expensive condo in Honolulu, has special ducks, salted ducks flown in from China. Like, at what point should it have been a giveaway that something was going on with this woman and her husband? Did they need to write across their foreheads and carry around signs saying, I am a spy, bitch is a spy? What was it going to take?
You know what was the tip-off? I know what the tip-off was. I just got something on my ex account at UWC number 4 Life. Somebody leaked out to Kathy Hochul that Miss Sun was getting
what?
Was getting diplomatic immunity plates, and her.
Are you serious?
And her house was going to be named, like, what do you call those things when what do you call those things?
Where you can go in your safe in another country?
Yeah, what is it called?
Embassy?
Yeah, getting embassy status for her mansion.
Jesus.
I'm joking, but I can see it coming though, right? Like,
because I love New York.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God, guys. You know what? Be the change. Go out and vote. This is a voting year. Do anything. Just the last 4 years have sucked. It doesn't matter which side of the pond you're living on the right side, the left side, if you're drowning somehow in the middle, or if you're in the communist mud. I'm just saying, last 4 years have been shit. So let's make a change, okay? Let's not laugh about the border. Let's not be totally untruthful about our nationality, and let's just make things happen.
You're losing me.
I'm not. What?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't want to know?
I didn't say
I could say I'm Indian,
or
I could say I'm Jamaican. But aren't we just American?
Yes. Where are you going with this? That's where I'm saying you've lost me.
That's where I'm going with that.
Oh,
whoa,
okay.
There it is. It took you a minute.
Right, vote guys. For whoever you'd like. I'm not telling anybody
that'll
vote
make
for.
Our country great again.
Oh, geez, he said it. I love New York.
All right, guys, we're going to take off. I will see you next Wednesday. Remember, this Saturday It is Shooting with Friends. Mr. Hangtime, Jay Flyer will be here. 8 a.m. Tune in wherever you listen to your podcasts. And remember, check out our link at linktree.com/UWC, the number 4 life. See you later. Bye.